Out of the theater. Just finished with Magazine Dreams. Tell me what you think, sir.
Oh my goodness. So when I before I walked in, I was telling you about how I was nervous that it was going to be pretty much what I was saying was that it was going to be emotional roller coaster rides, and oh my God, was it the biggest emotional? I'm talking about not long emotional ride roller coaster. We're talking about quick, you know,
Quick.
1 second he's in a good mood, everything is going great. Next second, everything is completely destroyed, and it was doing like that for 2 hours. Uh, and that's what I was afraid of. As soon as you would hear me laugh in the theater, the very next you're gonna hear me squinching in my seats, clutching my fists, tweaking because it's something excitingly disturbing that's happening. I will say, for the most part, I believe that was a very good film, had a very good story, had a very good message. It reminded me a lot of this other movie, this horror movie that we saw, The Woman in the Yard. And, one day I'll go into talking about that and explaining where I see the similarities in it. But, basically, I'll keep it brief. It's just this idea of dark clouds that some of us may have, that people have to struggle with, people have to fight with. So, if you're that type of person that's dealing with trauma and issues, like I believe this is a good therapeutic film to watch.
How you think he dealt with it? He did have a little help. He did have a was that I think it was a therapist or counselor in there.
I would say social worker. Yeah,
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Social worker.
yeah.
Obviously, that ain't the help he needed.
And that was the thing that I kept thinking about it through the movie. Like you're knowing that it's not gonna be a silver lining in this film because he's so disturbed that it's nothing. The film is based in like Greg and I actually thought that it could be based on a true story, that the film was so based in reality, like nothing about it seemed fiction. It seemed like a real story that could happen to anybody. Um, but he didn't have any help. That was the problem. There was you would think that the bodybuilding would have been something extremely therapeutic for him, but it was actually hurting him too. So not only does he have to deal with the trauma that from his parents, and I don't want to do too much spoiling, about it, but he has a lot of historical trauma that's going on. He has his own mental disorders, his own. I'm no therapist, so I don't know exactly what you would call it. I don't know if it's Tourette's or if it's um, bipolar, or I don't know exactly what it is. But he has that he has to deal with, and then he's bodybuilding, but he's doing it in such he's destroying his insides by getting the physique and the frame that he wants. So that's not really helping him. A lot of times people say when people have like those disabilities, like the best thing to do is give them something physical to do, like playing the violin and rolling them into basketball or football practice, football, and that channels all of that energy, all of that anxiety. So the rest of their life they'll be so exhausted, they just everything is normal because they're putting all that energy into that. But he was just so strong with everything he did. Story, like I'm saying, story is great. Story is beautiful. Puts you on a roller coaster ride.
Don't you think with that discipline it takes to be a bodybuilder, you know, it takes a lot of discipline because he mentioned in there like it's 24/7, it's every day. you know, a person probably can get over something like that with the discipline it takes to be a bodybuilder.
The fact this is, I'll give you a disappointment that I have with the film. The ending, I'm disappointed with the film. I'm not saying that it's a bad ending. I'm not saying that it's it's you know, it doesn't fit or anything like that. But they set him up in the beginning that he's super focused on everything that he does. Everything that he does, he wants to execute it to to its maximum mobility, right? That's what we have. If he wants to study how to put an object together, you know, construct something with his bare hands, then he's gonna study it. He's gonna go to Google. He's gonna research it. He's gonna practice it, and he's gonna like get better and better and better at it. So the ending, I was, oh, my bad. The ending, I was a little bit disappointed because there was something at the end that I actually wanted him to do, that I actually wanted him to commit to.
What was that?
I don't want to say it. I don't want to, because that's you. If I say that, that ruins the entire film.
Well, people, they'll just have to see it, man. Like, how would people know? What would you expect him to do?
Let's just say that at the end, he has a mission that he wants to accomplish, that he has been training for, and he's ready to do it. But at the very end, excuse me, at the very end, he did not do it. I'm not gonna say he cowered out, but it to me, it just felt like a rewrite. It's like we could end it like this, and then have this particular thing that happened, and have him arrested, and you know, hurting himself, and it just be a complete destruction.
So you feel like the decision was a writer's decision, not a character decision.
A writer's decision, a producer's decision,
Not a character decision.
not a character decision. I don't believe that the character, if the character was really based in reality, I think the character would have finished the job that I wanted him to do so bad. I really did, but he didn't do it. So he you know, he got a conscience, which is why I related so much to uh, the woman in the yard, because it has that same feel of the. I will spoil a little bit about the woman in the yard. There's a scene where the demon um, helps her put the gun to her head, and they don't show her actually pulling the trigger. She wakes up, and you know, the lights come back on and everything is good, and it's a happy family again, right? But you know, he didn't pull the trigger, and
What you think about Jonathan? You know, obviously it's been a while since we've seen him in some. What you think? How you think he did in this?
that I thought Jonathan did an excellent job in it. I thought he did it with the material that he was given. I believe that Jonathan did a fantastic job. He did not look, and a lot of his films are like that for me. Um, you know, I joke that I don't really watch his stuff. I'm not a huge fan, and I'm not a really huge fan of Jonathan Majors, uh, because he's just, I don't know. Anyway, but one thing he does know how to do, he knows how to do well. What I've seen him in other performances is that he knows how to transform a character. He knows how to take Jonathan Majors and put him away, and take on the body and the mind and the spirit of whatever performance that he's playing. And I think he did a wonderful job with that. That's not easy. This I'll say this, and if you want to wrap it, but Robert Downey Jr. did the film where he's in the Tropical Thunder, uh, Tropic Thunder. I think it was called Tropic Thunder, where he plays this black guy, right? And he makes uh, this comparison with these two actors, and he was basically saying, "You never go full retard." Anytime you play a character that requires you to be a little bit of a retard, you never go full retard. You just give them a percentage of retard. And in this film, it was either a bad actor would have destroyed this character, but Jonathan did. He had the right balance, a right balance. So I believe he had his supporting cast. He was pretty much solo dolo on this one, man. He had a couple characters that came in a bit, you know, but nobody was really there uh, to support him. There was no real, so it was all him and his minds. So I think he did a really great job.